checking in here for day 5 and 6 of the 100 Days of Making Comics Challenge. Yesterday I just plumb forgot to do a video, although I did my work last night on the couch. Finding that seems to be my new routine is just spending most of my day doing the work. Also getting used to April just getting up early and just realising that that's probably not the best time to try and do my half an hour, because it's more than likely going to get interrupted. So I've just started doing it in the evenings. So the easiest course for me now, I think, is just going to be me talking about it the next day. So again, like today is day 7, but just checking in for days 5 and 6. Yeah. Sorry, just having one of those thought moments. But yeah, so that seems to be a much better course of action. So on day 5, that was the day I had the market, and it wasn't a very successful day, sadly, but the weather was just not very kind at all, so it didn't really make it too favourable to even want to go to the market. Like myself, as just a visitor, a shopper, probably would have given it a miss on that day. So I can understand why it wasn't super busy, but it still had quite a few people. Some of my family managed to make it down, which is great because they don't live particularly close to the market. So just making sure traffic, there we go. But yeah, so overall it was a really good day. One of the things I did do was I took some of my canvases. Now, for those of you following my Instagram, you would have seen that I've posted them up there already, but I bought myself some Posca pens on the Friday and decided to take those blank canvases, although they were pre-prepared, so I'd already painted them with a background colour, and I just wanted to actually do the artwork on them. So I decided that I was going to go at them with Posca pens, because that way I have a bit more control. It's just essentially like illustrating. It's less messy, and I can do it so on location. I don't have to be restricted to taking all of my paints and brushes and everything like that. So I did those, and when I finished them, I chucked them up on the table, and I got a really good reception for them. So just that reception, not only at the market but also on social media, I decided that I need to do more of that. So what I did yesterday, me and April went down to the shops and just bought a bunch of more canvases. At this stage I'm just getting some of the cheap canvases. I feel a bit dirty about it, because having worked in an art shop for over 5 years and being the one that stretches the professional canvases for professional artists, I understand how important a good quality canvas is. So not just the quality of the cotton or the linen that you use, but also the primer, the wood that's used, and the reasonings behind that. And so here I am going to Kmart and buying a 4-pack of little 8x8 canvases that cost me $5. But it means that I can do the painting and I can practice, and I can just sell them at a cheaper rate, sort of a bit more disposable. People who want to get them. So anyway, that's my plan for the next market. Is next week we have off because there's the big Berwick show is on. Then the week after we're back to the market. So my intention is to go in with a ton of paintings that I've prepared over the last couple of weeks. So tomorrow I'm going to be going back to Officeworks, or possibly the art shop, and buying a bunch of Posca pens, and just really getting into it and doing a lot of painting in between some client work. So I do still have some client work, and I do need to drum up more client work, as I need to pay the bills. I still need to be building up the business. I'm just hoping that I can, at this stage I'm really enjoying doing the painting and just really freeing myself. And you would have noticed that there's a lot of influence there from artists like Keith Haring and Basquiat, and and just sort of street art in general. Really have spent a lot of time discovering myself again, and discovering new artists, and really adapting and taking a lot of inspiration from all of them and putting it into my own work. And trying out these new tools has made it a lot easier as well to sort of express that than just being stuck to a tablet. It's nice being doing traditional work again, even in a sort of illustrative but painterly fashion. So yeah, it's weird. I feel like I'm really juggling styles. So between the comic, because the comic is, even though I'm trying to shift the style a little bit, it's still quite on the point of the other its predecessors. And then I've also got like the stuff that I'm doing, the portraits, which are a little bit more realistic but cartoony, just the trace overs of photos and such. Which I still feel like you can sort of pick my work out of the litter, but between the three, it's just so all over the place. So sometimes I wonder, not that it doesn't matter at all, but just the way my mind works, I can't help but wonder what certain people think of the things that I'm posting when there's no real consistency in the work that I'm posting. I mean, there's consistency within the different mediums that within those styles. So within my comic style, within my portrait style, and within my painting style, there's a lot of consistency there. But on an overall spectrum, if you went through my Instagram feed, you'd be like, this is just all over the place. But I still think they all still resonate with me as an artist, which is fine. So the market was a bit poopy, but made me realise I need to do a lot more painting. And I'm going to be condensing the display of comics that I have there. So it definitely attracts people and they ask questions, but I don't think people are that inclined to want to pick up a comic book. Sometimes they are, sometimes they're like, I've got, my son would really like this, so they'll just pick up a comic for their kid. So I do sell a few odd comics here and there, which is still surprising to me, but I just really think that having the paintings there, finished, all varnished up and wired up, ready to hang on your wall, I just feel like that's going to be a much better enticing item for people who want to buy. And I can do a whole bunch of different sizes, and each week I can always come with a new piece of artwork. And the other side of me is thinking that when I do these, that I want to start taking photos of all of these and then compiling those photos into little zines. So at least there's a documentation there of all the work that I'm doing, for going backwards. But I'm thinking of doing like a real zine style, photocopied. So I'll take the photos and then print them out black and white, and then photocopy those black and white printouts and get that real photocopier look to them. I think that'll be really fun and different. So anyway, back to the comics. So where are we? So Sunday night I did half an hour strictly. This was actually quite difficult because I didn't have my script with me. In saying that, it was in my studio, but I was just so tired that I didn't want to get up again. So that level of laziness, I'm sure most of you can resonate at some point. So I just pulled out the tablet and said, okay, well, what am I going to do? There were a few pages where they were kind of no-brainers. Like I had the laydowns already done, so I could sort of jump in and just sketch it. So there's one page, I think it's page 2 or 3, where it's just a cityscape, and it's sort of kind of like a side-scrolling video game, deliberately designed that way. And that repeats 4 times, and the setting changes over that panel each time, just sort of showing the degradation of it's just a small village, and it just shows the degradation of that village over time and why it was degrading. So I decided to just sketch that up, and that took longer than I thought it would. It took me about just over half an hour to do that. Just drawing a few buildings, and the layout that I had sketched was super loose, so I didn't really have anything solid. It was just like, okay, I know what's happening here, and I know roughly what the scenery is meant to look like. So I just sort of went with it and sketched that out, and then what I'll do is duplicate that 4 times, and then each time I'll just degrade it and just take chunks off of it or whatever. And then so I did that. That was my first day. And then yesterday I did where were we? Page 1. So page 1 I've showed you guys a few days ago that I had pretty much penciled up most of that page. I was making changes to it, and also talking about how I wanted to just do all blacks and whites, like no gradients, no halftones, none of that. So I spent half an hour inking that. So I nearly finished inking the first panel, and was playing around with getting those solid blacks for the shadows, and then just like the little details to work, to see if I could make all of that that design element married together with my art style. And so far so good. So what I'll do is, instead of uploading this straight away, which was sort of my original intention, when I get home, I'm at a comic shop at the moment, I should say, so I'm working today. When I get home, I'll do a quick little video and I'll just snip all that together and actually talk you through what I did a little bit more, or I might even be able to just sort of add it over the top of the voiceover, so I don't know. But yeah, so that's been the last 2 days. So tonight I will, so I'll do the video, upload that, and then today will be day 7. So I'll do my drawing tonight, and then I'll do my little spiel. Just trying to find a balance, you know. I just got the Mac last week, and I thought that would actually make things easier with iMovie and such. But I'm doing most of this stuff on my phone, and finding myself just easier to do, just to either do a quick one shot or just do a couple of commentary, and then just snip that together in my little phone app. The only downside is that I lose access to my phone for half an hour to an hour while it's rendering, but I can just work on the iPad while that's happening. That's probably when I should be doing my my drawing anyway, then I'm not distracted by my phone. Alright, so I'll be back in a tick for you guys. For me, it'll be at the end of the day, and I will go through what I've drawn. So as I promised, came home, had dinner and all that junk, and now I'm scratching my head. I am going to show you guys the work that I've done for the past couple of days, because I haven't really shown you. Also, my poor little dude down here, little Cooper, hurt his leg today, and we don't know why. We're both out, and Jazz came home and he's been hobbling, so yeah. You doing alright? Yeah, his back leg's sore. Poor dude. Alright, so here's my studio at the moment. It's a bit of a mess. Got myself some new DVDs at the op shop today. Some Dragon Ball Z, Resurrection F, some Carl Barron, some Strassman. I'm going through this weird comedy kick at the moment, because I found like these 3 the other day. Scared with Little Guys, more Carl Barron, and the Umbilical Brothers. It's like they've just been going for really, really, really cheap. So I just keep grabbing them, because I used to love watching these when I was younger, so now I've got like this weird comedy collection growing, which is great because it's all Australian stuff, so I'm loving it. So if you've got any old Australian comedy DVDs you want to get rid of, I will have them. Anyway, here's a canvas that I'm prepping to paint. Just been getting the background ready for it. It's almost ready to go. I'm going to get some Poscas tomorrow and work on that. And then over here, setting these canvases up. I actually got some really cheap paint from Kmart, just to test it out and see what it was like. It's just poster paint. But the yellow, that is just one, if I can pick it up, that's just one layer of yellow. Super great coverage. Normally I just buy stuff from like the hardware shop, because the coverage is really good and it's always like opaque. I need to get a pink one, because this is like 2 coats of the pink. You can still see it's quite streaky and transparent. So I'm not happy with it, but I think it only cost me like $2 for this. We were looking at like 400 mils, nearly half a litre. So it's not too bad for what it is, but could be a lot better. And then white, because I figured just it's always good to have extra white. And this, for cheap paint, I'm surprised at how bad it doesn't smell, and yeah, it's just nice. And then these are the canvases that I've been working on. So once these are, well, these ones are ready to go, so I'll probably work on these tomorrow. These ones, I don't know, I might go to Bunnings and get some cheaper paint. Some hardware paint that'll be like that fluorescent pink colour, and maybe purple as well, just for the backer coating, because it's nice to have the different colours to work, and I really like how these came out. You can see you've got the like that weird half tone that's sort of in the background too, just adds a little extra dimension to it. Anyway, let me pull my chair out. Cooper's under here hiding. It's very stormy, so I'm actually thinking that he's probably run outside this some point today during the storm and slipped in the water and fell on his bum, which is why he's got a sore leg. Poor dude. He'll be alright. He's a tough guy. You're a tough guy, aren't you? I'm a tough guy. So, iPad time. Let's have a look at the iPad today. Let's see what is on here. So, here we go. So this is what I did last night. So going from, let's group those. So this is what I had to work with at the beginning of the night, and then in that half an hour, this is what I'd inked. So you can see what I was talking about earlier in the update when I was talking about doing just the blacks. So if we go back, sorry about my hand, let's swap hands. This is the original page that I'd inked. You can see how I was like experimenting with different brushes and half tones to try and really get the look of I don't know, just sort of what I thought I wanted. So if we go back now to this duplicated page, okay, you can see if we zoom in, all nice heavy blacks, then just using my eraser to cut out sections. I should go to fix that a little bit up there to differentiate the background with the foreground areas. So that's probably the best representation of it, I suppose, just that little wheel there. So just working on that, I got to that point, and then I got to just past the half hour mark, so I stopped. And the other page that I was working on, which is page 3, is this one. So this is the town that I was talking about. Ugh, come on. There we go. So this is that sort of side-scrolling scene, and this is going to get duplicated. So if I zoom out, you can see that that's just going to get duplicated, and there's going to be different things happening in each panel as the areas deteriorate. But you can see here, this is what the original panel looked like. Just my really loose sketch, and then this is sort of what it ended up with. Just trying to get a bit of depth and perspective in there, just so it wasn't just this weird, boring, flat arcade game style. I wanted it to look, like a real street. So in the village, and try and keep the idea of it's like a the very old style, very proud of the nature that they live in, and just try to represent that with some nice mountains in the background and lots of trees and shrubbery in the area as well. So what I'll end up doing is repeating that, and then I'll be removing sections one by one. So I'll repeat that here, cut some sections out, and then repeat it down here, cut more out, repeat it here, and then probably cut a huge chunk out. But yeah, that's where I'm at. So that's what I did. So tonight I will probably just continue on with this one and just continue inking it. It was nice, and it was nice to be inking, and then once it's done I will have a page finished, and I can just upload that and get that leaded, which will be really great. That'll be a nice feeling. I do kind of want to do this one because this is just a super simple panel. I could probably ink that up within 15 minutes, if that. And then just call that one a day, and I think that's page 4 or 5. Page 4. And then I have page 1 and 4 done. So maybe I'll aim to do that tonight for day 7, I think it is. Yeah, day 7. And yeah, slowly getting there. It's nice. It's nice to see that there's... Oh, I don't know what I'm doing there. Yeah. I know what I'm doing wrong. Yeah, it's nice to see that there's some solid progress happening again, which is really good. Alright, I'll catch you all tomorrow for my day 7 update. Alright, have a good one. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.